joining us. Sahil, that was a smart move, India. Okay, I can see some states and cities, everything coming along. Mumbai, India, US, Malaysia. That's very good. Thank you so much. So with that response, we are clear that we have our audiences from India, from US, and from the rest of the world joining us as well. So welcome once again to our masterclass. Now, I would like to take you to our next discussion. That is, before we proceed with this particular topic, that is the PMP really that tough, I would like to understand that what comes to your mind when you think of the word PMP. So I would take you to the next slide. I would want you to please scan this and put in your comments. I'll take you, just allow us a minute, please. I would request each one of you present there, please take out your phones, scan this particular word code, and let us understand that what comes to your mind when you think of this word PMP. Because as you can understand, PMP stands for Project Management Professionals. And that is in association with PMI, Project Management Institute, which is a renowned governing body across the world. Now, you must be a manager, you must be handling projects, but you need an authentication. You need a governing body to stamp your work, to give you a certificate to state that, yes, you have followed all the guidelines that was proposed by PMP, which is, we can call it a Bible. That is what we follow. And yes, you have used all those things into your work and you have successfully implemented it. Please go ahead. I allow you a minute to please scan this, and whatever comes to your mind, I would want you to please put that. All right, it's time for our results. All right, we have quite a few answers here. Designation, challenging, career, designation. Okay, overwhelming. I think, Arvind, you have a lot of challenges here when people are saying that's overwhelming to do a PMP certification. Too much content. Don't worry, don't worry. That's why we are here today, because we are going to tell you that you do not have to mug up the PIM Book 7 version completely to get into the PMP exam and clear it. No, that's not the agenda of this masterclass. We are here to tell you that you do not have to mug up those 1,000-page book and then think of cracking that exam. We have ways to tell you how exactly you can crack that exam in a smart and systematic way. In this time of AI, it's absolutely difficult for anyone to mug up those big, huge books that doctors used to do it long back. Now's the time for smart work. So let us teach you that. Banya budget managers, that's something different. We're very happy with the responses, some very unique responses we have got. All right, now, moving on. Thank you so much for being part of that. Coming to project management, as we always say, see, it is one of the, I would say, designations that is here to stay. With AI coming into picture, everyone would have thought that PMPs will be the one who would be affected. But let's be very honest, project management professionals are the one who will never be affected with AI, because they are the ones who are brain of a company. They are going to tell you, and I mean, they have to be smart and unique, and they have to keep on going ahead with time. A robot cannot do all that. AI cannot replace project management professionals any day, because as a manager, you come up with unique things. You handle people. Handling people is absolutely unique. You need smart ways. You need unique ways. You have to deal with things every now and then, every hour, every minute. And AIs can definitely not replace project managers. So if you are thinking of a project management certification, this is the time you should be considering yourself. Whether AI comes or any new technology that comes your way, your job is safe. I mean, please correct me if I'm wrong there.
Absolutely, I agree.
So you are here for a very good session to tell you that what exactly will help you to become a PMP. I will leave that to Arvind. I will not go ahead and tell you that how you should be taking it up. I would just want to speak a little on the Upgrad part. As you can see in front of your screen, Upgrad so far has trained 450,000 plus professionals across the globe. We have not just done that, we have tied up with 4,500 plus enterprise clients. So you see that companies have approached us to train their particular employees on PMP, on Scrum, because we have, as you can see on our website as well, we have 400 plus different certifications, and we train on Agile, we train on PMP, on SAFe, on cloud technologies. So we are there everywhere to ensure you the best of content in the market, and our training has been top notch. And we are there across the globe because it is after all, a digital training platform that we provide. So hindrance of geography will never come into picture. You can get trained with us wherever you are. Just need to come in touch with us. And if you go ahead and sign up with Upgrad till date, because we have been in association with Project Management Institute for almost a decade now, and we have ensured a 99% exam pass rate. That is the reason why we have organized this masterclass, because we have actually cracked the hack of how exactly you can crack PMP in 5 weeks. And now we are here to give the same information to you, that how can you crack that specific exam in 5 weeks itself. You do not need 1 month, 3 months, 1 year of preparation. We will teach you how to do that. So now I would go ahead and introduce our lecturer here, Mr. Arvind Sharma. Arvind, a very warm welcome to you once again. Arvind has 20 years of leadership experience in management consulting. He has done PMP, CSM, LSSBB, and many other certifications. Because our slide was a little small, we have not added many more. Arvind will give his own introduction by himself by telling us how many more he has done it. Not just that, he's one of the best person to come for this particular webinar, because he tells us he has the expertise on PMP, and he is going to tell us that how exactly anyone who is new to the PMP professional, who is new to tech, who is new to non-tech, any domain, can actually think of this. Because only when you think of doing something is when you will try towards it and you will succeed. As we say, those who try succeed. With that particular note, I would pass on now the discussion to Arvind. Arvind, please take it forward from here, and please share with us that how exactly we can crack a PMP, because why not at the end of this particular webinar, I will also think about taking one.
Awesome. So, hi, everybody. Thank you so very much, Monica, for that amazing start of this webinar. This is a great initiative, and I am obliged to be here. So thanks to Knowledgehut Upgrad for giving me an opportunity to speak with some of my colleagues. Let me start by saying I am a project management practitioner. So I'm not somebody who's retired from project management and then became a trainer. I am very much into managing projects at this point in time. I work with a major management consulting firm, primarily responsible for the performance of the entire division, yet involved in day-to-day affairs of some strategic projects. With that note, well, this has been a fantastic journey. From training perspective, it's almost been about 15 years, and this is purely out of passion. So essentially, when I'm not talking or when I'm not working about working on my projects, I'm really engaging with global professionals talking about project management. Now, whether it's from the PMP perspective or whether it's any other methodology from Agile, or whether it's Prince2, whether it's business analytics, Six Sigma, or anything else. So the idea of this webinar, as Monica rightly mentioned, it's all about answering some of your crucial questions about what is project management professional, the certification, how difficult is that, and how can we overcome that difficulty and get that PMP match. So as we move ahead, this is a quick understanding of the content that we'll be covering. Now, of course, we have to be mindful about the timings, but I'll be as thorough as possible. So we'll talk about the introduction of what PMP certification is all about, what are the benefits of PMP, from a different perspective. We'll also put up some highlights from the Job Trends 2024. Now, this is a report published by PMI. In fact, you can also access it by logging on to the official website of PMI, that is www.pmi.org. So PMI continuously engages in various research initiatives, and this is one of them. We'll talk about the difficulty level of PMP exam from different perspectives. We'll talk about some of the myths about the PMP that are unfortunately very popular, but yeah, we're going to bust some of them. We'll talk about some recent developments in the context of the PMP examination and how to better prepare, keeping all of these requirements in mind. We'll talk about the actual examination and the prerequisites around it. And followed by that, we'll talk about the recommended resources that we have obtained over a period of time, followed by some tips around time management and how to prepare on the examination day. Yeah. So again, this is something, and the other element that you see on the screen is something related with the benefits that you get, from this webinar, from the training, from Upgrad Knowledgehut. So we'll talk more about those in a lot more detail as we move on. Next slide, please.
Before proceeding on, Arvind, just one request to our audiences seeing us. As you can see onto our screen, there are special gifts waiting for you till the end of this masterclass because that's special. So we want to keep it till the end. Kindly bear with us for some time, listen out to what Arvind has to say, and then we are going to reveal what are the free gifts that we have only for the ones who are attending this webinar till the end.
Oh, that's amazing. Awesome. So, friends, when we talk about the PMP certification, as Monica already mentioned at the beginning of this call, and as you guys may have also learned, this is a premium certificate in project management, has a wide recognition across the globe, and the PMP certificate is actually an endorsement to your skills, to your abilities, to your experience. Essentially putting it in a very simple language, it's much like an endorsement that says the project manager who's been given those credentials, who's been awarded those credentials, knows what they do, right? So this is issued by Project Management Institute, as everybody knows already, and there are certain prerequisites that we are going to cover as part of our discussion while we explore further details around the PMP certificate. Now, along the slide, you would also see that there's some statistics, and that statistics again available on the PMI website that defines that there are about 1.4 million PMP certificate holders. So glad to be part of that niche crowd, and yeah, we'll look forward for adding you in this number. Next slide, please. Awesome. So, friends, when we talk about the benefits of PMP certificate, again, I'm sure many of you might have done your homework, have explored various articles on the internet, may have gone through the information available on the PMI website. But just to sum up everything, the benefits of PMP certificate, there are plenty of benefits. Besides the contribution that it provides on enhancement of your career prospects, whether it is about getting that long overdue promotion, whether it's all about getting a better job opportunity or increasing your number of interviews, PMP certificate definitely helps on that, right? It does increase your earning potential, and to kind of uh, elaborate on that, again, some snippet from a research that was carried out by PMI that indicates that on an average 33% hike in the median salary uh, for those who earn PMP certificate. Yeah. And as I mentioned earlier, it endorses your skills, it endorses your abilities, it endorses your commitment level and expertise. So PMP certificate endorses all of those abilities for the recruiters and the leadership to know that the project manager knows what they are doing, right? And of course, it comes with global recognition. So it's this hard work related to PMP, it certainly pays off, and which is why this is one of the premium certificates. Next slide, please. Now, these are some stories of impact, some of the feedback that we have been getting from some of the participants from the past. Like, these are just tip of the iceberg. There are plenty more out there. And of course, all of these details can be supplied to you by Upgrad Knowledgehut. I mean, you can look at all the success stories out there. But as you can see, there are many more stories of success. The endorsement that we receive and we continue to receive from the participants who have been part of the trainings around PMP, completed the training, and the change that the PMP certificate brought in their professional career. Yeah. So another one, and then there's another one. So quite a few endorsements out there, and so glad to see all of these professionals achieving new heights on their professional front with the PMP certificate. Now, friends, this is what I was talking about when I spoke about the job trends, about the research that PMI continues to carry out in the back end. So PMI, as you know, is a community of professionals who are dedicated to advancement of project management, right? And basis the information that you see, again, it's a snippet from the job trends report published by PMI. So as I said earlier, they continue to dig into a lot of details, conduct a lot of research to help the project practitioners mold their skill sets and be able to direct their professional career in the right direction. So out here, as you may have already know, the global economy faces a lot of challenges this year, especially in the context of high inflation, weak growth expectations. But the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, has predicted a 3.1% increase in global GDP by the end of 2024. Despite this, there are a lot of organizations across the globe that are pushing forward with urgent projects in different sectors. Now, in 2023, the PMI Global Survey, it showed that many organizations are engaged in digital transformation efforts. Their focus is on risk management, and their other focus is on adapting to new ways of working, new work arrangements, especially post-COVID. So hybrid project management is on the rise. And of course, artificial intelligence is increasingly be used in the project management efforts. Now, project management professionals, of course, we need agility, we need resilience, we need our leadership skills, or we call them power skills in the language of PMI, like, for example, problem solving skills. All of these are needed to thrive in the current landscape of the business world, where the opportunities for career growth are continually expanding for project professionals. So the PMI Economic Snapshot Survey that was carried out, it indicates an increase in full-time project management staffing, showing a growing demand for skilled professionals in almost every field or every industry, right? This report provided an insight into the future of project management career. It highlights the trends, it it highlights and flags the hot sectors, with each of the uh, geographical regions. And essentially, it focuses upon identifying the skills that are needed to for the project practitioners like you and me to succeed in this evolving business landscape, right? So you and I, as project professionals, we can definitely advance our career. We can increase our earning potential by identifying the gaps in our talent, in our knowledge, and knowing or discovering what skill sets are on high demand. Yeah. Next slide, please. Next one, please. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, there's been a lag in my system, so I'm sorry. You need to go back to the previous one. Somehow just skipped it. So, friends, this is just an extension of the same research that was carried out. So, in here, the focus was about AI and how it is changing the project execution and how it is changing and affecting the role of a project manager, right? Now, interestingly, um, as on today, 33% of the workers use AI in their job in different ways. In fact, the country with the highest adoption rate of AI is India, which stands at 56%, right? Now, when it comes to employees and talking to them and serving them at different levels, 53% of them thought that AI will eventually impact their industry and it will have a major impact on their role. 59% of the folks on the survey, on the report, uh, indicated that they have the right skill set to make use of the latest technology in project management and otherwise. And then there were a bunch of them, about 17%, who indicated that they don't have the required skill set and they would want to evolve along with others. In fact, you'll be surprised to find out that there has been about 2,000% jump in job postings that are related with, that are referencing generative AI skills. And that's the duration between March to September 2023. So essentially, with all these statistics, there's a learning gap, a learning curve gap, right? So 60% of the old millennials, people who are aged between 35 and 44, they feel that upskilling in AI will be essential for them. Acquiring new skills on project management, staying updated with the trends in project management will be very important for them. However, when this question was asked to the employers, only about 13% of the employees said that they have been provided with the required training. So essentially, there's been a lot of gap in there. The demand is high of project professionals, but in terms of the training and upskilling efforts, well, unfortunately, there's a big gap. Yeah. So one of the important roles and initiatives that PMI took was to kind of bridge this gap. Yeah. Next slide, next one, please. Now, hitting the nail on its head, we are going to talk about the difficulty level of PMP examinations. And from the word jumble, that which was an amazing thing, carried out on Monica, we figured that all of us have different understanding about the PMP examination. In fact, the words that primarily popped up in that word jumble was that it's really challenging. It's very comprehensive. It's very vast. It's cumbersome, right? So PMP examination, well, it is comprehensive, it is challenging, and which is why it is so premium. It covers a vast majority of information. It talks about the project from end to end. It talks about initiation all the way to closing of project, and talks about different kind of life cycles that are used, different kind of methodologies that are used in project management. So in the overall exam, you come across these different kind of questions related to different life cycles. But interestingly, as we proceed towards upscaling ourselves in this profession, in this world of PMP, we focus on these three dimensions that you see in a form of a triangle. This triangle is known as the talent triangle, right? Now, this talks about the three different levels of skill sets that are required of project managers to be able to perform at their best when managing their projects. So essentially, these three are power skills, business acumen skills, and ways of working. Now, traditionally, ways of working has been all about understanding the process of managing projects. There has to be a step-by-step process that project managers must understand in order to manage the projects. Power skills are related with people skills. So we are talking about leadership skills. We are talking about interpersonal skills. We are talking about emotional intelligence. So all the skills that are related to people interaction and people management. And finally, business acumen. Business acumen is all about understanding the landscape of the organization, the goals of the organizations. Do we have an understanding of why our project is important for the organization? How do we relate with the big picture as we go? Right? So these three levels of skill sets directly correspond to the curriculum of the examination. And therefore, these are covered as part of the training. Let's move on. Now, some of the myths that I'm sure you may have come across, right? And as you see on the screen, it's all about, some people say memorize the PMBOK. There's PMBOK, or Project Management Body of Knowledge, which is published between a gap of every 4 years by PMI, consists of the best practices and processes and some of the vital pieces of information put together in one place. So memorizing the PMBOK, well, that will help us pass the examination. Only the PMP certification is only meant for the IT professionals or techies. Well, some people believe that if you are preparing for the PMP, you have to take break from work. Yeah. Some people say that if you want to pass the PMP, you need to really score very high out there. Others feel that PMP is kind of, you know, is it's far difficult, and a good equivalence would be to go for some agile certification, and that will sort things out. Some people feel that you really have to be a project manager in order to take the PMP and qualify for it. Others feel that once you're certified, you don't need to worry about it anymore. It's you're all sorted out for life. Yeah. And strangely, I've come across people who have this myth. They say, well, you can actually cheat on PMP. Somebody else can give the PMP exam for you. Yeah. And don't be surprised if you're approached by somebody out there, a scammer or somebody who says that we can take the PMP exam for you, and all you need to do is just pay the money and we'll get it done for you. Don't fall for it. And of course, the last myth is it guarantees a high salary. Busting all of them again in a very summarized way. The idea here is to upskill to understand what PMP is all about, right? As I indicated earlier, and I'm going to emphasize over and over again on this, that PMP is not an examination of a book. That means you just can't memorize things and retain it in your memory till you sit for the exam and dump it out there. It doesn't work like that. There are no direct or definition type questions in PMP. The entire examination is all about how you deal with real life situations. So, yes, it is an examination of your knowledge, but most importantly, how you use that knowledge in sorting out day to day activities, overcoming day to day challenges and issues, and how you lead your team and how you lead your stakeholders. So having said that, it's completely based on real life scenario. And while the PMBOK guide and every other material that will be provided to you is definitely going to help enhance that knowledge, it's all about how we utilize that knowledge and how we use it in day-to-day affairs. Now, some of the common challenges that most people have come across as it comes to preparing for the PMP, people feel that they don't find enough time. They feel that there's too much to learn. People find that a lot of challenges around finding the right provider. You know, when you search for PMP exam or PMP preparation training on the internet, there are too many results, and people often get confused as to which one to go with. You know, some people feel they lack practical experience. They don't have enough experience to appear for the PMP exam, and some people get very anxious and demotivated with those small setbacks that they come across when they are attempting mock tests or when they're sitting in for the class, right? So again, these are very common challenges that most people have reported over a period of time. Yeah. And our trainings are in line with ensuring that you have the right mindset right from the beginning, drawing out a plan as to how you're going to manage your time and how you're going to do what you're expected to do. Of course, we don't expect you to have superhuman capabilities, you know, managing family affairs and managing work related affairs, and then still be able to spend, 2, 3 hours every day learning about PMP exam and things like that. That's where Prism comes into play. That's where the content comes into play. You know, again, more on that when we get there. Next one, please. Now, uh, this is a list of some of the recent developments that have happened at the PMI side, um, especially in the context of changing and tweaking or some corrections in the examination front. Um, One of the first things that you see here is estimated pass rates. Now, officially, PMI never kind of gives you a percentage result, as in what percentage of answers are to be, or what percentage of questions are to be answered correctly in order to pass the PMP examination. But some experts believe that anything around 75% is kind of determined as pass. However, PMI has not acknowledged it officially. They use the grading system to declare the results based on the answers that are given on the given questions. There has been changes in the examination content. Now, this happened in January 2021. Prior to that, it was all about processes, but well, there was a drastic change that happened in the examination, and in my personal opinion, it has mellowed down a little, because now this is where introduction and addition of agile happened in the PMP examination. So roughly about half of your questions come from predictive life cycle. That is the traditional way of how we manage our projects. Some of you might be familiar with the waterfall way of managing project work, right? So 50% related to that, and remaining 50% is all about understanding how agile and how hybrid project management life cycles work. So that's been a change there. Um, they have continued to increase the focus on real world application. This is where I was speaking about, the kind of questions that you come across. Although most questions are multiple choice questions, but here we have most of the questions are multiple choice questions, but they are all related with real life scenarios, right? And to ensure that you get a better hang of it, there are many mock tests and practice tests that you can attempt and take to evaluate your understanding and knowledge of project management. Likewise, PDU simply translates to, it's like one PDU is equal to an hour that you spend in learning something, right? So as a result of the training that you attend at Knowledgehut Upgrad, that's where you receive a certificate highlighting 36 PDUs, which simply translates to that you have actually gone through professional training of 35 hours, 36 hours, and that you qualify for the PMP examination. I think everybody has already seen the growth in PMP certification. It's in high demand. The demand of project professionals across the globe is high, and there is certainly a gap, right? So more or less like an opportunity for us to kind of tap in with upskilling ourselves. The exam can be taken in two different ways. One, you can walk into a Prometric center. You can book your date and time in advance, and you can take the examination by visiting a Prometric center. Alternatively, post-COVID, PMI has also started facilitating online examination, something that you can take in the comfort of your home or office, wherever you have a strong internet connection. Yeah. Now that's called the online proctoring. So proctoring simply means that there are certain rules and regulations, do's and don'ts that have to be followed. It's a very strict exam with, a proctor from PMI monitoring your screen, monitoring you through their webcam, ensuring that the exam is carried out in the expected manner. Then, of course, there are multiple preparational resources, something that we'll talk about later on. And as I explained earlier, adoption of agile and hybrid methodologies. That has become 50% of the examination questions that we now see in the actual PMP exam. Next one, please. So friends, this is what I explained in our previous conversations as well in the previous slides. This is where we're looking at the total effort that goes into the PMP examination. So predictive, adaptive, hybrid approaches, all your knowledge is tested on all three levels of project management life cycles. Something that your training is going to equip you with. Yeah. And this was something that was brought in picture in 2021. And the total number of questions that you come across in the PMP examination has about 42% representation of power skills, 50% representation of processes, and about 8% from business skills. These are some of the prerequisites. Because PMP is a practitioner level examination, you are required to have some level of experience, working experience for it. So that's there on your screen. For those who have minimum graduation, a bachelor's degree or more, for them, 36 months of leading project work, that's the practical or industry experience that you're expected to have. Along with that, a 35 hours of training with an authorized training provider like Knowledge Hut Upgrade. For anybody who has less than a bachelor's degree, for them, the relevant work experience should be slightly more. So instead of 3 years, they should have at least 5 years of experience, plus 35 hours of project management education. Next one, please. And friends, this is the format. So a slide that kind of lays out the format of the examination. So a total of 180 questions to be answered in approximately 4 hours. That's 230 minutes. Approximately 95% of the questions are all multiple choice questions. That means you have a business scenario in front of you, a situation, which explains the context, and then they ask, hey, what do you think a project manager should do? Right? Choose the right option. Yep. Excuse me for a minute.
Now that we allow Arvind a little time to drink some water, we would want to understand, how is this session going on for you? Do you get some clarity after Arvind speaking up for you for the past 15-20 minutes? If yes, I would request you to please post your comment on our chat window. You can just type in the word clarity, or yes, I do have some clarity now. I need more help, because we are here to help you. Arvind is giving you some insights. Post that. We have a team of experts as well who are there to answer any questions that you may have. So please feel free to reach out. Let us know what you understand, what more help you need from us. Thank you so much, guys. That was very interactive.
Hey, thanks, Monica. And I apologize, everyone. I'm somehow having a bad throat day. Preparing for your PMP journey, that's what we are trying to highlight over here in this slide. Essentially, your training will help you understand the examination content outline, which is published by PMI. Again, this is a resource that is available for everybody on PMI website under the PMP page, right? So understanding the examination content outline, how the examination curriculum is set out, followed by the necessary study material provided to you by your training coordinator, by your Knowledge Hut Upgrad, and supplementing to that, translating all of this information into some simple ways using a lot of stories and a lot of videos and a lot of interaction and activities and workshop settings. Well, we spent 36 hours together to simplify all of that for you so that you are able to better relate with the content. And followed by that, side by side, one of the most important things is practice examination. So practice examination, plenty of examination questions provided to you to evaluate your performance, to evaluate whether you have understood and gained that knowledge with the right context. And last but not the least, following a study plan. Now, this is where your commitment, your dedication comes into play. This is all about how committed are you to upgrade yourself, to upskill yourself. Again, that's very, very important. So following a study plan where your trainer is definitely going to help you lay out a map that can be followed, right? Something that could help you cover all of these things, cover the entire curriculum in about 45 days, about 1.5 months. Now, from the study resources, as I mentioned previously, PRISM is one of the important resources or sources of information that we have available by Upgrad Knowledgehut. Followed by, this is perfectly aligned with the project management the body of knowledge 7th edition, published by PMI. And then, of course, there are other resources that can be utilized, side by side to enhance your knowledge. So in order to help you boost your confidence to take up that PMP examination, to enhance your skills, to confidently sit for that job interview and grab that opportunity, well, all of that will happen when you see progress. So yes, training is definitely going to help you boost your confidence to help you acquire all that knowledge and skills that you come across. But then, supplementing to it, mock exams play a very important role. Practice questions plays an important role for you to track your progress. You know, sorry about that, guys. Excuse me. Then networking also plays an important role. So with Upgrad Knowledgehut, as you become an alumni, you get an opportunity to work and collaborate with other project professionals, and work with others to study in groups. Of course, training is going to facilitate that. And of course, you stay in touch with the trainer throughout. So it's not just about the training, it's also about mentorship to help you track your progress, to review your all the information that has been given to you, to help you revise all of those details, right? And of course, keep yourself positive, you know. So it's easy to feel isolated when you're sitting alone and, when things are not working out so well. But when you see progress, it boosts up your morale. So positive affirmations, yes, I can do it, that's very, very important. Set realistic expectations for yourself. Don't assume that after taking the training, a drastic change will happen. Somebody will just flip the switch and a change will happen. The world will change. No, it doesn't work like that, right? You need to put in your dedication, your hard work. You need to give your time and commitment to this, right? And so set realistic expectations. Again, one of the things covered as part of your study plan. And then, of course, simulate exam conditions. Means challenge yourself, set up timers for yourself. And of course, wherever you need help, get appropriate support. Talk to people who have already obtained a PMP certificate. Learn from their experience. Reach out to the support team of Upgrad Knowledge. They are completely equipped to handle situations for you. Reach out to the trainers. So these are some of the elements that will help you boost your confidence, and that is how we also play an important role in contributing our knowledge and our industry knowledge and our understanding of the subject to help you get there. Next one, please.
I think in a masterclass itself, we have seen how AI cannot replace human beings. This is completely
Absolutely,
the
it
issue
cannot.
that we face, and that cannot overpower the human beings that we are sitting here.
No, I think this is something that was recognized by PMI back in 2021, and which is why they bifurcated the entire design of the PMP exam into three brackets. So if you go back into that talent triangle that I was talking about, it's no longer just about the tools. It's not just about the machinery, equipment, and processes and SOPs and things like those. They realize the value of human beings into the process. And that's why we need power skills. We need leadership skills. And project managers have to be good in people interaction. So people play a crucial role in there. And then, of course, understanding the overall context of the business. So that makes the entire effort more realistic and focused.
Absolutely.
So friends, some of the tips from time management perspective. Again, a lot of people have been asking how much time would it take to prepare? How much time would it take to get into the training and from there pass the examination? So friends, it would be unfair to use a blanket approach and saying that everybody would be able to clear the examination in 1 month. But on an average, the average that we have observed, it's about 45 days. Yeah. So again, based on your schedule, based on your priorities, based on what you're working with, and many other things that you're dealing with, well, you need to set realistic goals and milestones for yourself. You will get appropriate support as and when needed. All you need to do is just ask. And we are here for your sake and nothing else. Right? Likewise, keeping commitment strong. So allocate regular, dedicated study time in a disciplined manner. Right? And when you're looking at this entire huge chunk of effort that is to be carried out, sorry about that. So break it down into small pieces. That's easier for you to manage. And finally, with that, I hand it over to Monica, who's going to take it forward from here. But please don't hesitate to put in your questions on the chat box that we can address.
Thank you so much, Arvind, for those insights. It was very helpful. It gave me so much clarity. So I am genuinely thinking that our audience also would have got that clarity that why should they be thinking about taking up a PMP exam? If you have plans, I would now, with this insight, I would want you to do this exercise with me. Now that I have also got so much of the information from Arvind, I'm also contemplating along with you. Close your eye for a second. Think of it like how we see it. Okay, let me have a weight machine in front of me. Now I'm going to contemplate on my right hand side what are the reasons that I should be taking up this PMP exam. I want a better salary. I want a better designation. I want to go ahead and become a project manager because I want to manage people. So think about all the things that has motivated you to join this masterclass, that has motivated you to think about this PMP. And on the left hand side, I would request you to now think about that why should you take this up? With this insight that Arvind has shared, you know that in 1.5 months, in 45 weeks, we are going to make sure that you have all the informations to go ahead and crack that PMP exam in the first attempt itself. Because with Knowledge Hut Upgrad, we are going to ensure first attempt pass rate. As you can see that we have mentioned with a lot of screenshots in front of you, we have guaranteed this that you go ahead, take up the training with us, and you will be able to get through this PMP exam in your first attempt. One of the toughest exam with 4 hours of, a test that you sit for 4 hours. Thinking of it only is going to give you goosebumps. That how am I going to sit for a test for more than 2 hours? Don't worry, you have your required breaks. So you will have complete details from our end, wherein we are going to tell you how that exam is going to fall into picture. Arvind has given us some great insights on telling us, see, PMP, when you see the PIM book that he was mentioning, it is all about initiating, planning, executing, monitoring, controlling, and closing. That's what PMP is all about. This is what you need in order to scale in the exam. You don't have to go through that entire book to crack it. This is completely a human knowledge. You are going to be tested on how exactly you use a use case. A case is given to you. How do you apply all the principles that PMP has set across into that and become the best of managers across there in the market? That's what you need to do. We are here to train you. Now that Arvind has told you that how you can go ahead and take it up, you don't need to leave your job. You don't need any gaps from work. You can do it alongside. Our training is just for 36 hours. In fact, every training on earth is for 36 hours when it comes to PMP. It is going to be complete life. It is 9 days is what we need from your end. 4 hours every day, the session would be. We have Arvind and instructors like Arvind, who has minimum 20 years of experience teaching you in the class. And it is going to be a complete interactive class. Like how you are talking to Arvind now, you are doing it on chat, but in classes, we ensure you can unmute yourself, you can ask questions directly to Arvind onto his faces and the other instructors that we have out there. One thing is guaranteed, instructors have minimum 20 years of experience because that's what you need. If someone has the experience, has the expertise to tell you, only can go ahead and explain you that how do you apply something in the market. Now, one more thing that I would want to highlight to everyone out there, this is our program director. Mr. Kevin Davis is the one who is a renowned project management expertise. He has done it for more than 2 decades now. He has helped us to curate the content. If you had a chance to go through the Upgrad website before this masterclass or during this session, you would have noticed that we have two modes of training. One is the live interactive sessions, wherein instructors are going to teach you the content live during the sessions itself. And the other one is self-paced content, wherein you can go ahead and take this training at your own pace and time. If you think that, no, I have some plans on the weekends, I do not think I can take up the classes on weekends or weekdays, I'm very occupied, no worries. We do have a solution for you. We have a self-paced content as well. Take it at your own pace and time, complete it. And not just that, it is not just that we provide you the training and end you there. As you can see in front of you, this is a guaranteed PMP exam success path. We start from the training, as I reiterated before as well. It's going to be instructor-led training and self-paced content, both the options, completely flexible as per your availability. Post that, there is going to be a study plan. we are going to provide you a 5 weeks of study plan wherein we tell you what are the contents you should study in a weekly basis. First week, this is what you should be covering because, see, to be very honest with you, instructors will do their part by training you. 4 hours of sessions on, let's say, if we go for the Saturday, Sunday classes, 4 hours on Saturday, 4 hours on Sunday, the instructor will teach you. But as a human being, you also need to do your analysis, your research, your homework, for which we would request you, apart from the sessions, please put in additional hours. Put in additional 2 to 4 hours on a weekly basis. Go through whatever was taught in the class to ensure that as much as we are guaranteeing you that you will pass the exam in the first attempt, you also have the same dedication. Because until and unless you are with us, cooperating 200% to ensure that success, even we will not be able to complete it. So let's work it out together. As you can see, we will be giving you question banks, 2000 plus questions. So if you are going to work on 2000 plus different situations and scenarios before cracking the PMP exam, just think about it from your own end. Won't you be ready for the PMP exam by yourself? Do you need any more preparations apart from that? Definitely not. So many questions, so many situations you will have in front of you. Mock tests. We ensure 12 different mock tests. See, 1 or 2 mock tests would be enough for you to go ahead and crack the exam. But we ensure that we would be giving you 12 different set of questions, 12 different exposures, 12 different times you have sat for that exam. And then you go ahead and take up the final exam with the renowned PMI governing body. And you're sure to crack it. Trust in yourself as much as we are trusting you. That's when, after completing all these mock test question bank, we give you a thumbs up that yes, now you are ready to take up your PMP exam. Go ahead and take it up. Not just that, setting up your exam is also done by Knowledgehut Upgrad. We have a team who is going to help you to reach out to PMI, do all the documentations required to get the clearance to go ahead and sit in the exam and then take it up. And I'm sure you will be able to do well and crack this exam in the first attempt itself. Now, the thing that we were waiting for, before I tell you, because I think seeing it on the screen will not be enough for you to understand what all we are offering you here. If you are interested, now that you know everything, what you should be taking up, now that you know how Knowledgehut Upgrad is going to help you in this particular session, in this particular journey of becoming a PMP professional, I would request you to please go ahead and now decide. The activity that we did of balancing out that what are my things, why should I be doing a PMP? And now that I know everything in details, that yes, it is the right time for me to taking it up, take that call now. Take this call of deciding that yes, I am ready to take this exam. Yes, I am ready to go ahead and give 5 weeks of my life into this particular training. Because why not? If you think you can go ahead and grab in a better job, think about starting now. And if you go ahead and start with PMP with us, we are going to offer you the ones. First of all, thank you so much for being part of this masterclass till the end. Because you were here, we are offering these complimentary courses for you. As you can see, I was just mentioning about these question banks that we help you. In this masterclass, the ones who have joined will go back smiling whether you take this up with us or not. We are going to ensure you 2000 plus question banks here. But I would request you to take it up because Arvind will not be available otherwise. Why don't you want to learn it from him? Let's go ahead and sign up for Arvind's classes itself. And we are going to learn up in details how to crack PMP. Let's do this journey along with him. Someone who has given you the vision of cracking this exam, let's take it up now. Think of enrolling because if you're going to do that, here is the list of things that you're going to get from us. You are going to get 200 plus question banks, simulator exam. You are also going to get exam pass study plan from our end. We will tell you, as I said before, 5 weeks of plan on a weekly basis, in fact, on a daily basis, what are the contents you should be doing, how many tests you should be taking up is available. You have self-paced content free of cost for you, which we are going to enroll or give you at the end of this particular masterclass. Everything would be available with you, not just that one thing that you need from any, I would say any particular organization that you're tying yourself with is support. At Upgrad, we are going to ensure you 24/7 support. We have our instructors who are going to help you during the class. Post the classes, we have a dedicated team who ensures to be there to help you in any question or answers that you may have. Because when you are doing your homework or your research, It's very normal that you will have questions and you would want answers to it immediately. Reach out to us. We are there to help you.